Welcome to Walking in Circles, a podcast about friendship, creativity, and the lifelong journey of becoming.
For more than 15 years, our group has gathered weekly to play, reflect, laugh, and share life. This season, 5 of us are on a creative pilgrimage, working through Julia Cameron's book, Walking in This World.
Each week, we explore what's bubbling up in our art, in our hearts, and our lives, as we rediscover the creative pulse within and around us.
I'm Chris.
I'm Cameron, and we'd like to invite you to listen in and continue the conversation. Walk with us as we keep learning what it means to be alive, awake, and connected.
So this is much better than last week. Great. So hopefully we can just have a conversation. And
I did so much homework from last week.
did you?
No.
Doubt it.
Did anybody do homework? Yeah. Are you ahead of us now, Adam?
I
Yes, for all
didn't
this.
think so. I thought last week we did week 1, didn't we?
If you're on to week 2, great. And besides, you asked for the week 2 tasks today.
So you would be late.
Well,
this afternoon.
I listened to it and I already knew them in audio form. I just wanted to see them.
That's a lie.
Okay.
So, but anyways, I thought we were on week 2, but yes, I guess I'm ahead. So
Great. You can share whatever is in your deep, deep heart.
okay.
Okay, I'm going to read through the questions I put in the chat today to kind of get us started. And you can be thinking about where you want to jump in, anybody, everybody. And then, Seth, you can do we officially start now, whenever you feel is the right time
Well,
to do
let's
that.
start now then.
So are we supposed to answer these now?
No.
No, we have begun.
Can you do the thing? The big music, the stinger thing was fun.
Do the
it got jazzed.
pad 1. That's our intro music.
Yeah,
check it out.
and then Seth says, "Let's begin."
Oh my God.
We can just record it for next time.
You let me know you had it. I'm gonna demand it.
Number 1.
Welcome
begin.
to
He botched it. It's Seth.
the Pod Show.
Perfect. Let's begin.
Nice.
We're back.
That sounds like it's a. No, we're not back.
And
we
we're
were
back.
beginning.
We are back from last week.
It's just the only thing he can say after that.
It's true. I have to say.
I think I'm a little annoyed with Julia right now. I want to say that it's me. I'm in like a kind of a unfortunate headspace. I think I'm really grumpy.
Yeah.
I haven't been sleeping very well, which is annoying because I have already not been sleeping well because JJ for like the last 6 months, but also she's like sleeping really well right now, and now I'm still waking up.
Yeah.
Sunny's not sleeping well either, so it's like, okay, oh, you thought, no. And like the last 2 days, I woke up at 4 in the morning. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I think I'm anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's surgery. We're I'm waiting on the finances for the insurance. I'm worried about work because it's another lean week or a month. So I'm anxious, and so whenever that happens, I get a lot of nervous energy when I wake up, and I just don't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm really tired. So today, for example, I was up at 4. And I had a bunch of stuff to do, and so my headspace with it is kind of bad, and what I mean is when I'm reading her what she's saying, and she's like, I'm typing this on a mechanical typer, and of course you are, Julia, I don't know, it's just it's I'm eye rolling, and so the same thing, she said something about some people even type their morning pages on their computer, but I recommend you don't, and instantly then I was like, oh. When I first read the first sentence, I was like, oh, maybe I could do that, but I recommend you don't. Okay. Then I just never get the energy to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm grumpy about it now. I was like, stop. It's not as good as if you write it. I'm like, her voice it's not even her voice. It's like a fake voice of hers. It's just in my head now. It's so annoying.
It's a mix of her voice and your voice.
Yeah.
And the shadow. And
It's
all
her
the things
voice is
together.
my response to her oh yeah, so if you just start doing art, a magic composer will come to your house and give you a career in composing music that you never thought you could make a career in. I mean, that's kind of what you say, but kind of not, but also that's what I'm hearing, you know?
Yeah.
And so so part of me is I'm struggling because it's not that I don't want to, and I never have, and I never will, but currently I don't believe what she's saying. I don't believe in my body or in my mind even that if you like make art because you love it and you need to, then everything will be fine and money will come your way and like you'll pave the energy for it all to flow into you and all the resources you need will just pour down on you. Like, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And I might believe that next week, or I might have believed that a week ago, but like I don't believe it this week, so it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
For that reason, I've done the artist date as well, and I've been pretty religious about doing that this week, and because that's important to me. But I just find that more often than not, it doesn't feel like an act of faith. It feels like an act of indulgence, and I don't feel that good about it. I don't know, something changed about it. It feels like I'm being negligent and like indulgent. I should be doing something else. And I never have that, like, usually. It's not like I'm like driven, like I always got to be being productive. Like I don't really fall for that usually, but like, I don't know. So I just like feel bad about, well, I think part of it is because it's a really lean month for us again. We're really tight. Like getting all these notifications from my financial app.
Yeah.
You know, low balance alert, low balance alert. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do some art over here. Sorry, Steph. Sorry. You know, Sonny, you know? And so it's like, it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's the thing that I'm dealing with. That's the thing that kept bubbling up. It's just like every time I do it, I just like don't feel good about it. So that noise because I want to do it. That's why I'm doing it.
Right.
You bring up an interesting point too, Brett. And like, I didn't necessarily feel this about this activity and Julia, but in general, I do kind of get that feeling when, I don't know, I seen it a lot with like more like Nepo babies and stuff who are like, you just have to dig into your art or like just take a year off and go backpack Europe. It's like, with whose money?
And life and everything.
Yeah. And so anyways, and they're like, life is so much better. It's like, I bet it is. But yeah, I guess that same frustration, but then there is also part of me that is like, I kind of get what they're saying, but you have to like understand there's some level of privilege in it being able to say, do art.
Yes.
But, maybe in those times, it's when it's the most important.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all.
Which I think she also says, and that's probably also where you see that and you go, that.
Yeah. It's like if you don't have time, then you don't not have time. You know?
It doesn't take that long to do it. It's not like
if you don't do morning magic pages, you'll never have time to do morning magic pages.
I mean, all the things are true, and that's what's so complicated about it. Because the part of you that's frustrated already knows that.
Yeah.
And already knew that and is already responding to that. And it's like, but what the F do I do about it? And it is both things. When I was first reading what she was saying, I was thinking, this is perfect for me right now. But how is this a thing for humanity? Because I think that humans are supposed to be like this. I think humans are supposed to be creative. I think humans are supposed to be available. I think in any work they do, they're supposed to be able to be like, it's a good way of being in the world. Like you're talking about the artist trait is so good for yourself. And you were talking about that last week. And I'm thinking about like tribal cultures or 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago or 7,000 years ago. Where's the place for this in someone who's trying to survive? And at first I'm really resistant to that, but I feel an opening in myself too. I think the people who actually moved us forward from those places did find something of this message in it. They were a mother or a leader with something of that creative spirit. Maybe not in the legalistic ways we're looking at it or feel compelled. And maybe, again, because I think all of us here still have an inner fundamentalist. She also did say, even if you just sit at the piano and touch your fingers to the keys, that's better. 5 minutes is better. All the things are better. You sit at your computer and write 3 words. Give yourself the minimal thing that you can, and it's all better. But we all are going to key in on whatever the best is. Like, we have to do it the best way possible. We have to do the absolute. And that's been my struggle for the last 17 years in the vocation that I just left, is I always wanted to be available to do the things I'm doing. And I said this last week. I feel like I've been in that place for the last 17 years where I'm like, I don't have time to do this or to do it the way I want to do it or do it the way it deserves or this right way to do it. And I also don't have, it's not just that resource. I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the emotional energy to do it. I don't have any of the resources needed to commit to that sort of thing. I do have more space for that than I've ever had. And a month ago, I was terrified. I'll probably be terrified again in a minute. But at this moment, I'm cherishing the fact that I'm not. So I get it. And as best as you can, give yourself permission to hear. I didn't do morning pages today, but I sat at the keyboard maybe, and I wrote one word. You know, what is the version of it that you can do to make yourself available to the spirit of it? And how do you feel about that, Brad?
I love it, but there's something in me that wants to, like you just said, optimize it. It's like that version. But there's some part of my brain saying like, oh, that's a good idea. That's what I'll do. And that'll lead to me doing this even better. I'll start typing, and that's going to open the floodgates. And soon I'll be blogging. And soon I'll write all the blog posts and do all the blogging I've always wanted to do. And that's why I'm going to start doing this. Like, it's so hard for me to just like...
Just do the one thing.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the stuff I want to do... Because I think I need to separate them. The magic pages, I'm going to keep calling it that. Like the artist date and stuff, those are separate tasks. Artist pages, you just write that shit, get it out of there, and then, move on with your life. That's not like art. The other stuff is, because the other stuff I want to do, I'm tired of doing stuff that I'm not happy with the result, and I don't have time to do it the way I want to do it. Like, that's what I'm lacking, I feel like, is, the ability to actually express myself properly. But I'm wanting to try, I think I feel maybe desperate for that enough that I'm trying to leverage everything that I can into it. And make it work toward that, and it just like doesn't work that way. You can't make everything a slave to that one objective, or else everybody just hates you because they're all not wanting to be slaves.
You could, and you're resistant to it. Like the thing isn't built for it. Yeah. So you can't. I tried to do this while I was doing my last job, in all the hours that like be available to the creative spirit of it. And it just like this thing isn't that. Yeah. So it is like it was sucking things out of me, and then I get to like do my creative thing, and I'm gonna be interrupted, and I have 5 minutes, and then I don't get interrupted, and I feel guilty that I took 5 minutes to do do a collage or some and it's like great, I got that done, checked it off my list. I feel healed. It's just it's chaotic, but I think one of the things that like the graces that I'm feeling in this is just permission for it to be chaotic. And I've read years ago Anne Lamott, her Bird by Bird book, which is about writing, and her maybe second chapter is called Write a First Draft. And I've never given myself permission to do that. I have never done that. Every draft I think I'm always editing in my head. It has to be the best draft. Like it's such a stupid, like I'm sure I know it's a Enneagram 3, whatever performance-based self I am, that I'm presenting competence to the world and all things. But I'm like, someone's going to come across my draft and be like, that's a really good draft. That's a rough draft. And there's no one that's ever gives a shit. Yeah. But that person lives in my interior world or my existence or something. That's a voice that lives inside of me. Yeah. So I've never given myself permission to write a shit first draft. Yeah. And this time I'm like, I wrote a lot of shit drafts. Nice. And some of them are real shit. When I come back to them, I'm like, this is not at all what I'm trying to say. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, close enough.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough is hard. It's a hard thing for me. I am embracing that because like that's the giving up of something. But it's not. Like it's like this is close enough to what I want to say, and this is what I always tag on, and I can always change it later. On my next read through, if I still don't like it, if I'm not settled with it, and very often I get to that I can. Yeah. I was going to say one that you're feeling right now is really great because did you get a chance to do the first task? I think you said no.
Not the morning pages or the walk or the artist date, but
like task one where you write them 20.
I wrote 20 things out and 10 things that are awesome about you.
Yeah. How was that?
Harder than I thought. Yeah. I wasn't in the right mind space to do like the marketing blurb by yourself, but
yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm slanted on all these things because like all of the like things were like, so at first like the 20 creative things I could do, like I just started writing things down, and like after I wrote 8, I was like, this is a to-do list. This isn't creative stuff. This is stuff that I want to get done. Yeah. That's the first thing. And then the second thing was all like, I'm industrious. I work hard. Those are all the good things about me. Like, okay, all right. Chill.
You're the
You have to hold
perfect
yourself to it.
The
This is good because
perfect
I hear you
capitalist
saying,
cog.
when I hear you saying, Brett, it's like, this is really good energy for what we're getting at. And it's like, yeah, you can be mad at Julia, but like you're trying to figure out, you're mad at yourself and like the things that are going on in your life and all these things. I heard an interview with her actually. I'm doing this for a good video effect so that all those who are watching me talk right now can like something interesting to do.
Like this.
The boogers thing. This is thing I adopted from her interview. She talked about a lot of this stuff, but she said she has an inner critic and she named him and she called him Leonard, I think. So she's like, thank you for sharing, Leonard. And mine is Candace. And I have done that so many times in the last 2 weeks. And every time that little, I've already said my limit of tonight, but the voice in me, like that is criticizing every thing, you know, I'm just like, it feels so good to say thank you for sharing, Candace. And you don't have to say anything else. You just keep saying it, and it just comes back to the right size. It's this big thing, and it's just working its way back down. But she, in chapter 3, what we're going to get to shortly, there's a section on anger. I just wanted to read that to you briefly.
I struggle with this one.
Yeah, but you guys can jump in if you want. Go for it.
Well,
I'm going to find it.
It's about anger and just listing a number of things you're angry about. She says list from 1 to 50. I think, Chris, your experience, you said you could do it pretty quick. You did it quicker than you thought?
I did 8.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm done. And then I was like, I'll try and think of a few more things I'm angry about. And then pretty soon I was at like 62.
Yeah. It's funny because I thought I would have 50 easy. And then I went to I think 14 the first time. And I came back today, I think, and I went to I did like another 20. And I still couldn't do it. And then I see themes, and I'm like, does that count? It's the same thing as over there. And I don't know. I think it's funny and depends on how descriptive I choose to be. But it's just about the energy is the whole point. It's anger as fuel, I think, is the title of it. And anytime I started writing those down, I'm like, oh, I do have some energy for a couple of these things. What do I want to do? I wanted to get that insurance dealt with. So I was like, in my anger, I was calling to fix the problem and follow up and see if they would do it. And it paid off, which was nice.
It's alchemy. She references that. You guys, everyone familiar with the term of alchemy? It's in my headspace in the last few months. The idea that alchemy, like an alchemist, I think if you think Harry Potter, like the Sorcerer's Stone, they call it the Philosopher's Stone, and we would call it a sorcerer, someone who's taking something and making something else. An alchemist would be literally making gold out of what thread is in Rumpelstiltskin or whatever the various.
The alchemy game where you take a snake and a rock and you have some weird monster or whatever.
You make a rock snake.
Yeah. It's actually the snake game where you just add a section every time. Anyway, but it is good because it's anger as fuel, and the list, you're supposed to go through the list and then take out some things where you could do. It's kind of like the to-do list in another way.
Small thing.
And and it works.
Which I didn't do that part at all. I just stopped at the 64 things I'm angry about.
I didn't do it after that either. But like the first time I did like 4, I was like, oh, what do I want to do to write better? Well, I just should write more. And if I want to code or whatever, it's like, I should just code more. I just need to do some more things. Just do all those drafts like you were talking about. And it's funny when it comes to writing, I find I do a lot of drafts, but I really like my drafts. I don't want to get rid of my drafts. So I kind of want to keep every copy and just kind of see the progression. Yes. And I think that's cool in a sense, but also like, that's way too much content. I can't hold that much in my brain. I shouldn't have to hold that much in my brain. Otherwise, it will stunt my progress. So letting go is part of that. But also, it is energy because I'm like, I like this, but I need to keep going. So it's like fighting, almost fighting yourself and using that anger as fuel. I don't know. Sure. It's interesting.
I was telling you about this. The other piece that's been helpful to me lately that is not anything that Julia said, but came out of a conversation I heard on Amy Poehler's podcast when she was interviewing
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah. And I don't remember really much else about the interview. It was fine. It was good. But there was something where Amy was encouraging her to be directing. She had directed a couple episodes of something. And she's like, what are you directing? And Dakota's like, well, I'm not directing anything. I don't feel like I have this. Amy was like, you did a couple episodes. They're amazing. You have all the gifts. You should be directing. And she basically said, I want to direct. And Amy's like, why aren't you directing? She's like, yeah, you're right. I'm being too precious. And she's like, I'm going to direct now. Like, it was just like, you could hear that in the conversation. It's like, I have to not be too precious was what I'm resonating with. It's like, you have to go and do the thing.
I'd say that kind of brings up a point from the chapter 2. There was some bits and pieces, like some writing prompts about outside inputs, like who encouraged you to do something, like in your past and stuff. It was all that to say sometimes it does take someone from the outside or a close friend or something like that to kind of pull that thread for you for you to latch on.
I think she talks a lot about resizing in chapter 2 as well. That one's hard because it's in this world that is, and maybe we talked about this last week, in this world of stepping out and reaching into a new realm of ourselves and our creativity, that it's a little scary to us. It's scary to me. Financially, very obviously stressful. But, and so you'll come back around the people who you knew, or you'll try to find some similar voices. For me, it would be like my grandparents, my immediate family are like, oh, you should do this engineering thing because that's what you're doing, and that's why you went to college, you spent all this money and all this stuff, and you don't want to be doing that. And I'm like, and I would surround myself with those people to bring my creativity back in, rein it in, and say like, oh yeah, maybe that's not what I want to do. But she's saying also kind of put some of those relationships on hold because it will stunt you, and you need to like let yourself be a little nervous and step out on the edge, like push the boundaries a little bit. So that's a good thing.
You're gonna keep having the tendency, even in yourself, to come back to the size that's comfortable, because it's familiar. And I think of sometimes by myself, I think about, like, this sounds a little dramatic, but abusive relationships, and I think of all of that example, and it's like people don't leave them because they're familiar. It doesn't make any sense, but we do that to ourselves in our own sort of abuse towards ourselves, or whatever our voices are. Is like, it's familiar. This is what you're right. I tried too hard. I think she does a really good job of developing that in the second chapter. The kinds of voices that we'll hear, we'll feel great one day, and the next day we'll feel like I shouldn't have. Yeah. What was I thinking? Like, it's too much and that kind of thing. So what I hear you saying, Brett, is great, because I think I just hear it all as energy right now. It's getting ready for something. It's something about to be birthed. It's something in the womb. I don't know what that means.
I mean, historically, the anxiety has been a lot of energy. It's basically what fueled the first 4 years of our business.
Yeah. And something else maybe
like
transformative. You're an alchemist.
And you got to nurse it back to health.
You're an alchemist that's about to bring something forward. She says this about anger, which followed up what you just said, Cameron, and what you were saying, Adam, in the second chapter, about resizing. And she says, when we're angry at being overlooked, it's not arrogance and grandiosity, or when we're angry about whatever's going on. It's a signal that we've changed sizes and must now act larger.
Yeah. She talks a lot about that identity piece where your ego's not inflated. Actually, it is a new level, and it's a different part of yourself. She has a quote, something about where I can't remember now. It's about stepping into yourself. What is it? It totally left me.
Yeah, but it is resizing. We'll come back around to it too.
Yeah, because guys, this is chapter 1 we're talking about here.
We're not on chapter 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
What chapter are we supposed to be on?
1.
Okay.
And then end wherever.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
This is pre-looking forward, but what you're talking about is she gives the example of the elephant and people all on a different side. We've all heard the metaphor, right? The story of all the different people, and some are like, it's a wall because they're standing on the side and they can feel this. One thinks it's like
One in the trunk is a snake.
At the trunk, it's a snake. The one at the back, it's a broom or something. It's at its tail. They all have one perspective, and then as we resize, we need to keep people. She's talking about as we resize, as we grow bigger, we need to keep people who are willing to see other parts of the elephant with us.
Yeah.
But some people might need to be off limits for a time.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
They're not willing to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean forever necessarily. It might mean forever, but it might just mean they're off limits to me for this time. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was remembering what she said. I think it's not an ego issue of you're not overinflated. You're not thinking too highly of yourself. It's actually, oh shoot, am I going to lose it again? It's actually, crap. I had it.
It'll come back. It's trying to come out.
Yeah,
It is.
we'll get there. It was about,
It's related to that size of your. Now I just laughed.
Yes.
That you've outgrown the thing and you need to act
Yeah.
into it.
Are you kind of saying like, so like I imagine it like this a little bit. When your ego is puffed up, you're trying to say that you're more than you are. But she's saying it's not that, it's that you are more than this. It's the inverted thing. It's like
Yeah.
if you're
Almost.
a little kid wearing too big of clothes, you're a big person wearing little kid clothes. You're
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
I need
Yeah.
bigger clothes.
it is,
right.
it is that thing. It's where you actually think you're smaller than you are. It's growing out of the mindset that I'm this little tiny thing. And it's actually growing into yourself, like you said. So you can't be wearing clothes that are too small.
Right.
Great example of this. Yesterday or 2 days ago, Maggie was having a breakdown because she wanted me to help her get on her boots, her little pink boots, and she doesn't wear any socks or anything with them because she's trying to fit in them because they're way too small. I'm like, girl, these are actually way too small for you, and that's okay. You enjoy them and you love them. She was bawling. And so we took time away. I was like, it doesn't mean you can't get new ones. You can have some new ones and enjoy those too, because I know you love boots, and I'm sure mom and dad will get you some new boots. So, yeah, it's just recognizing that, oh, I'm bigger now, and I get to enjoy that and embrace that in a new way now. And so let's step into being that person.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she was saying,
Yeah.
and that's what
That
Julia
makes
was
sense.
saying.
I heard one more thing in what you were saying, Brett, that I don't know. I heard it in me, not so much in what you were saying. And I just want to kind of pose it out there to you all. And it's a really interesting thing being a member of community my whole life. And even this community that we have in some form existed for, I don't know,
Over 10.
our last count,
Yeah, over 10.
15,
10, 15.
pushing
yeah.
15 years, something like that. And there's this phrase that she has said in the intro in passing, and she develops a little bit more in first chapter, and she says, we take no step unpartnered. Essentially, when we connect to making art, creating, we're connecting to ourselves, we're connecting to God. God is part of this process. That any move towards creativity is a move towards God, a move towards ourselves. Some of these things said in her whatever way she says them, but that to me is a really important piece for me right now. And I had shared at the end, you weren't there, Adam, but at the end of group, we were just sitting at Rancho Viejo, and I just said, what do you guys, I think it was prompted in me because of my discomfort recently about how do you guys pray these days? Something like this. And we had a whole discussion about praying and with the whole, I don't even like the phrase, but deconstruction, reconstruction, all that kind of stuff. And I think I had closed by sort of a little bit of a confession, if you remember, something along the lines of, I have the benevolence of God. I hold it deeply. I believe it firmly I can see it for the world and for other people, but I haven't felt that for myself at this season of my life. And so I often, like, prayer is a non-thing for me. It has been for a season.
Mm-hmm.
And just like saying that changed something.
Mm-hmm.
I have had the best conversations with God in the last few weeks in whatever way. And I feel free to I didn't want to have the evangelical conversations that I used to have and that kind of thing. And so I don't know whatever way I feel compelled to, or what I'm finding in my own ways. And sometimes it is talking to Jesus and God the Father, because those are familiar icons to me who have been kind and favorable to me. And sometimes it's Spirit and whatever.
Yeah.
feminine energy, like all the things that I'm trying out that are sometimes really uncomfortable and sometimes really exciting. But anyway, I guess I'm just saying that phrase that she said there, that phrase has been sitting with me for a while. We take no step unpartnered. I don't know why, but having been in community for myself, when it comes to creative endeavors particularly, and maybe it's because that's a place where you walk towards meeting and knowing yourself. I have not felt like that is true. I feel I must go there alone. I feel that I have to do it. It's my thing. I have to write the book, the song, whatever the creative endeavor it is. It doesn't even matter. It's like it's on me. I don't feel partnered in it.
Yeah.
And I feel, I don't know,
Is that-
weirdly isolated or alone or something? I don't feel like sad about it. I just feel like that's the way of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was going to ask too, because we were talking about this, about the book thing. You don't feel sad about it. Do you feel like, for me, when I'm writing, I do have struggles to like even ask Chat GPT about ideas, even, or outlines. Like, I want this to be original. I want this to be mine. I want ownership of this, and it can't be someone else's. And
maybe
that's a
it's-
little stupid, but it is. It's like something in me too that wants to be. I've had all these ideas for many years. Everyone's always told me I was creative, imaginative. When my dad told me I was very imaginative and wanted to build and create, so I should be an engineer, and so that's partly why I went into it. And it's true, I still do love those things, but I have this thing where, like, I have to figure out the entire problem on my own. I have to define it. I have to create the solutions or the steps to get there, and then I have to be able to get everyone else there. That's my job. And that's not really how it works. And I think that's a fundamental misunderstanding that I've had. And I think it's more than I've had or have. It's like rooted in me. And I think that's something somewhat of fundamental of our fundamentalism, like our evangelical culture, is like the problem is within you, so you deal with it. Or let God deal with it, because that's the only way. You have to truly be on your knees and surrender to the awakening inside you, or the cleansing, whatever it is. And I don't think it's like that. It's embracing the help around you. It's embracing the community, like you were saying. It is walking with people. It is walking with yourself. That's entirely why I'm writing the book I'm writing, is because to come to terms with your ego, to come to terms with your shadow, to come to terms with your small selves, your past selves. I love the imagery of the tree and all of its rings. Each are included in the other. And to become like friends, or like love
with
the
your
dark parts of yourself.
selves.
Yeah. And so to work with that, and that also can be projected into those who are around you. Like, I maybe not be that great at writing yet or ever, so maybe I need a hint or two, or I might not ever be a coder or want to code a lot, but I can still ask my friends who are good at that and to help me or to give me ideas, and that's a good thing, because I can't do it all on my own. And that's one thing I really love about engineering and kind of that the new wave of culture is that for creation and innovation to happen, there must be diversity. And the more diversity there is, the higher rate of progress there is. And
diversity of thought, diversity of experience,
and
diversity of
all the major companies you can see do this and have a great turnout for a lot of things, or at least they have a lot of new products coming out, and that works. And I love the idea, and it's hard to, I guess, turn it on myself, or to kind of rein that in, because instead of going to a place where that is a thing, to create it myself or incorporate it seems harder. It seems harder to do within me, because it's a me issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, where I was going with that, based on I don't know why I hear it, because I've had similar thoughts, and you might be having them from a totally different place than I am.
Well,
but
let me just interject
Yeah.
that what you said, I totally resonate with. It's a different way of saying, maybe a better way of saying what I was complaining about earlier, about feeling like I was indulging instead of enacting an act of faith.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like I'm on an island, and I'm not connecting to the universe when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's just like a thing I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I miss from my old fundamentalist days was believing that I can connect with God,
Yeah.
i.e. the universe, i.e. everything,
Yeah.
as a relational act when I do a thing, and I never do a thing alone. And I've never said that since I started to struggle through like coming back to like a personal experience with God.
Yeah.
That exact thing, that feeling of sort of like aloneness. I remember encountering it first, but now that you've said that, that's the empty thing that's annoying or infuriating or saddening about entering into like a creative endeavor and not remembering to meet the divine there. For me, it's a revelation. It's like you said it and changed, and then so this is way more than an interjection, but to the affirmative, what you're saying, that's exactly what I'm thinking. It's like almost like I just need to remember. I'm not doing this alone. I'm not doing this alone. I was doing it alone because I was literally just doing that, but I don't have to be, and I'm not. All you have to do is remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
Tapping
really,
into
if it's true creativity, I think I think she might make the assertion you can't.
Yeah.
She actually says we are.
Right.
What was the phrase? I read it. I wrote it because it's been important to me. We take no step unpartnered, and she actually says when we open to making art, we are automatically partnered. The creative spirit is a partner, is a creative spirit, and is always looking for partners, is always partnering, is always, it's like in the act of creating anything is art. You're automatically partnered. You cannot not be partnered, if you will. And to me, I think that I've kind of always had a weird relationship with that part of myself when creating things. Is like, even if I'm doing it for God, I think I kind of felt like I've been inspired. You all inspired me. I saw something that inspired me, and now I'm supposed to take it. I'm supposed to make it something, and this is my thing, and I can maybe bring it back as like some kind of an offering for you all and for God. What?
You have like a deist view of creativity.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So this,
Right.
weird, and it became particularly that way in the season of my life. And releasing that, even if it's just an assertion, like I didn't even have to know, like, is this true? It just resonated. It's just something I needed to like hold and live into or something. And I think on a cellular level, I do think it's true. It changes a lot of things. It's frankly why we're all here. I was like, well, I don't know. This might be a idea to start a podcast, to get us together. Putting mics and cameras in front of us might disrupt all these great conversations that we have. It might make us self-conscious. It might do, who knows what it'll do. But allowing myself to think that I take no step unpartnered, all of a sudden I see partners everywhere. I'm like, I don't know if you have time for this, Brett. You don't get enough sleep. Do you have time for a conversation once a month? Seth has a little baby. I don't know if you have time. Adam, you're in a different state. Cameron, I know a little bit better because we're planning and doing things together each day. But that first sentence that I shared last week, like, what is it in the first chapter about you all are here because you want to make art, and none of you actually are a part of that. Too bad. I see you as a partner right now, and I think that's part of the thing. I'm seeing partners all over the place because I have a sense that it didn't mean for that to happen, but just an awareness of that sort of as open something. Things are permeating that weren't permeating before. If that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys are mentioning like the old evangelicalism as like maybe the reasoning for that. And I feel like that is a portion, as well as, and this is probably goes hand in hand because we're all American. And it's like that individualistic idea from being American. And like, I get that a lot. I also think back, like, I still really like it as a character, but like my favorite character growing up was Batman. And it's like, if you aren't able to recognize the toxic parts of that, then it's a really terrible blueprint of how to live. Because I think about like whenever he preps for something, it's like a montage of him alone in the Batcave. And he's like, all right, I'm going to lift super heavy and do all this stuff. And I'm completely isolated and alone. And so then that like just obviously that was written because of a mindset in the culture, and then also informed the culture. So there's like this whole like sub thing, but yeah, so that kind of idea I think kind of fed into what I do as well. And so I relate to what you guys are all saying in that it's like, okay, time to do something. So I'm going to cut myself off from everything so I can focus and do the thing. But it's quite the opposite. And we need our Alfreds and
Yeah.
to help us out. And yeah, I don't know. It's definitely more creative. And like you were saying, Cameron, like you feel like you're not able to own it if you reference other things, like either other people or like ChatGPT as a resource or something. But like,
It's not even a real thing. It's
I
not
was
a
like,
person.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. And if that's the case, can you own anything? Someone made the pen and paper you write. Like, do you
Right,
have to?
exactly.
That's
Like-
It's not an original idea.
There's
that I'm
no
using. I'm
new
really
thing in the world.
stealing like an artist, like
Feel
that
an
one.
artist, yeah.
Book.
I also
says.
think it kind of an aside, but I think it's a funny thought to type into ChatGPT, write me a book, and I want it to be original and creative, and hit enter.
I should do that. I should do that as a separate thing. And what would you make this?
Yeah.
Right now?
And I want it to be
And
original.
There's no originality in it because it's literally taken from everything ever made that
Yeah.
it has access
As are
to.
we.
Yeah,
As,
true.
as is every living thing in the universe.
And that this is something that it just makes sense because it's everything too. Like that's what I love about America. It is the melting pot, like they said all the time. And I was thinking of this last night, I think, because we did qigong, and my sinuses cleared up since it's been plugged for a couple of days. I'm like, oh, this is a thing I really appreciate about the culture and how they do health and lifestyle, because they have a unique way of moving through the world. And those exercises in particular, I'm like, this is sweet. And this is how I feel connected to my body. And it's a way outside of what I grew up and learned to interact with and be healing to myself. And there are so many other cultures that I think that about, but I don't do them because I'm so fixed and so stuck in my freeways in the middle of the United States with no culture around me besides that of what I choose to indulge in and discover and like to put myself out there and what we have together in our groups. And it's and I just think it speaks to, we need, like we were saying, we need community. We need some diversity to move forward. And yeah, it's good for us no matter when and where.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Seth, it's your turn to either share from the wells of your heart or to do your ending thing.
So there's your, like, we're all saying the same things. Ooh, boy. I think my broad thought is I've given myself permission a lot lately to do things without huge expectations. And so for my artist date, I was already planning on like learning how to sew and sewing stuff for Eloise and Brooke. But this kind of just fit into that category. So that's the thing that I do a couple times a week just for fun. And I think when I was planning to do it, I was like, the first thing I'm going to make is this pair of pants for Eloise, and it's going to come out and it's going to be perfect. And it obviously wasn't. And like I've worked on that pair of pants like 4 or 5 times, and like I gave up on like trying to make them perfect, but just practicing on them. So like the legs are uneven and the waist is wrong, and like, but it gave me the opportunity to just have fun. And then the most recent time, it was like I had 5 minutes before I had to go do schoolwork, and so I sat down and started making a headband for Eloise. And it's not perfect at all, and it's not done, but I found myself when I was doing it, like I think I used to have that little bit of guilt of like I should be doing something else, but I just felt I could do this thing and it was fun and I enjoyed it, and nothing came of it really, other than just I enjoyed doing it and got some practice, but that really wasn't the point of it. It was just to sit down and do something I didn't have to do, I think, and didn't expect to get something out of it. So, but I think what you were talking about as far as like most of us don't feel like we're doing this because we want to become an artist or whatever. I feel like I've been using a lot of these things, questions that she's asking as just a broad conceptual framework through which to view my life and the things that are going on and how to think through them and process them. So it's been really helpful for that. I don't know. The past month has been like very, we always say busy, but like this has been a really busy week. Just not that I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm doing 50 to 60 hour work weeks, and then also in school, and then also taking care of baby. So it's like the actual time I leave before Brooke and Eloise wake up, and when I get back, I have like an hour maybe with Eloise, and half of that is putting her to bed, like doing her bath time routine. So it's like I just don't have time to do anything else. And so I've been just tired and stressed, and like a lot of things have gone on. Like I had an almost panic attack at my parents on Sunday, and that evening too, then we went to her parents, and like her family kind of turned on Brooke, and just like big things in our life that are just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. It's just like, it's happening and we're getting through it and we're surviving, but like, it's tough. But like the things she's helped me ask a lot of good questions. Like, why don't I do or like just asking yourself, why aren't you doing the thing you don't want to do? And part of like, some of the things have been like having a conversation with my parents about some big things, and like just asking that question, why don't I want to do it? Why do I keep pushing it off? And not that I have an exact answer, but like it's helping me process through those things, even though it's like the book's meant to be like, I'm going to become an artist and I'm going to write a book and be successful. Like it hasn't been that for me, but it's been still very helpful for that, I guess. So
yeah,
broad thoughts.
That's good. Yeah, and I don't think it's about one avenue. I think it is really about living and connecting to self and the world and God. So yeah.
Yep.
On that note,
Question for the group.
Okay.
Have any of you read her first book, The Artist's Way?
The Artist's Way.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Mostly. I think I had borrowed it and read a bunch of it, and then I returned it before I did. I thought I borrowed it from you guys.
We have it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's upstairs on the shelf. Steph's read it.
Yeah. So not totally, but
Gotcha.
entirely.
I brought this, I told Hunter about what we were doing, and because she bought it recently and has read it, The Artist's Way, and so I told her we were going through this book, and so she's been listening with. But anyways, I was just curious because obviously we're only a few chapters in, but what she's hearing, she's like, this is just literally a rephrasing of everything in The Artist's Way. I don't know, obviously it can change later, but also I wonder if the rewording helps for people like us who would look at a book called The Artist's Way and you put it away because you're like, that's not me, but I do walk in the world, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So
It's for you dum-dums.
So on that note, thanks for making time for some conversations. In the words of Seth, we're done. This is over. This is it.